Welcome back, dearest listeners, to Queen of Daggers, Heart of Fire, our oh-so-experimental Daggerheart campaign. I am here with my beautiful players discussing the various ways they might approach their next steps. Last session was a lot of feelings and a lot of lore and possibly one too many additional proper nouns. We're not sure. So we find ourselves, poets, at the gates of Boreas. The hero Mariana at our side, and the city before us. It is a homecoming for you, OrLeon, and a new world for Ginny in particular. Lemma, have you ever been to Boreas, the realm's capital?
I think maybe actually no.
That makes
I
sense.
think the services of the Elogist are not really required in a more settled, massive place.
Yes, I agree, especially after all, OrLeon's family are undertakers, I believe. I know that they're in the death industry. I think there's a rich tradition here that's very different of dealing with such things. And I believe we said Evelyn hasn't been here, that she's maybe been to Whitmorn, but not to Boreas.
Yeah, no, never been here.
For Ginny in particular, it would be overwhelming. But I think even for Evelyn and for Lemma, it's unlike anything you've seen. A city planned and laid out by a god queen of planning and execution, of making sure there's enough for everyone. It is bustling, but not chaotic. It is beautiful, but not excessive. But as you enter OrLeon, as the cart goes down the main road, headed towards the palace, which I'll describe soon, you would notice first that you feel something, not a change, but something about the atmosphere that you wouldn't have noticed, that you had to leave in order to notice. You know, you grew up here, and you've been away, I think we said something like 6 months, maybe a little more. The way I'll put it is you're in a cart with one of the most famous, most recognizable legends of the land, and a man who is, frankly, a mushroom. And no one's really looking at you. You know, you remember now that you are poets, and people generally are not. They see what's in front of them. Their attention's not caught by things out of the corner of their eye. And that does seem to be what's happening. People are going about their business. But as you look at Porphyry, and I think, OrLeon, you would be the first to do so because you're feeling a change in the atmosphere, Porphyry looks different to you. You see the Porphyry you know, but you also see at the same time an elven man. So OrLeon and anyone who thinks they would notice this, either OrLeon looking or would look themselves, can make a roll to understand what's going on. And tell me what you're rolling. There are a few options.
Growing up in Boreas, there's an energy, there is a busyness that it is simply the rhythm of life. It's what you understand. You take for granted. It is simply that for people to be in close proximity to each other and to have to make privacy or create space for privacy in a crowded city seems implicit when you grow up in one. But of course, for OrLeon growing up in this environment, because of his connection to the ward, because he was always aware through Cosmene that there was somehow more to existence than what he saw around him, he started He came to see it as a choice, in some way, a choice people were making, not to see what was right in front of them. And he grew to disdain it, to feel alienated. He couldn't really wait to leave. But now, coming back, he notices the same behavior, people not seeing what they're seeing.
That's very interesting. And since you put it that way, I'm going to continue a little bit. You felt that there was a choice people were making, and you couldn't wait to leave. I'll come to that part later, but you think of some of the things Porphyry was saying about Kiva, and that Lorelei and everyone else had said about the Shadowjacks, that these were people who felt that they heard or felt or saw a portion of reality that no one else saw. And that feeling of isolation and misfit. I've used that enunciation of misfit already, talking about Kiva, sent them away. They couldn't coexist with people who ignored what they were seeing. It felt to them.
That's what the Shadowjacks felt.
Yes. I think you are feeling what the Shadowjacks felt, to a degree.
Yes.
And as you get further and further into the city, all of you begin to feel this a little bit, to some degree, some of you more than others. I think probably Ginny the least. An awareness of the caudal ward that is more active than usual. And an awareness of things behind it.
Why would I feel it the least?
You could make some sort of roll to. I mean, I don't know that Ginny is aware she's feeling it the least. So that's a question we could address later if you're all discussing it.
When you say more aware of the ward and the things behind it, is it like what is on the other side of the ward is more present for us, or we are more aware of the barrier between, quote, reality and the ward?
Both. I think on a typical day as a poet, you're aware that there are things just outside your vision. You have more of a peripheral vision, peripheral senses, danger sense. And now here you're aware that even in front of you, above you, around you, on all sides, there is a veil. There are aspects of life that have been walled off to all of you. And OrLeon, you in particular. And I'm going to say maybe Lemma second most because of the conversation you had with Porphyry that would have labeled it in terms of how Kiva felt. An awareness of things, feelings, possibilities that are being held back. The domains of these two queens, of chaos and fate. Everything that the ward is intentionally and unintentionally between the people of Lacuna and the other side. And Lemma, when Porphyry said to you that Kiva was vivid because she felt everything, this is what he meant. And, it'll fade into the background as you spend some time here, as you did for 19 years, 20 years. Here in Boreas, it's easier to not perceive your own abilities. It wasn't until you did something very, very obvious and external that even you realized you were special. And with that thought, we continue onwards, towards the palace. The source of the Caudal Ward. As the cart continues onwards, past normal people living normal lives, not oppressed ones. As the cart continues through the town, the main road pass not directly your parents' shop. They're off a side road. Undertakers don't usually display right on the main road, but you can imagine where it is. You approach what the footbridge that would be familiar to you, though you've personally never crossed it, that goes over the little moat between most of Boreas and the Harvest Court, which sits just in the bay, the Harrow Bay. Soren slows the cart, and Mariana hops out, and before you is the Harvest Palace, a wonder of the realm. Its spires were visible from Hyperion Road before you entered the city, but seeing them in person, and here you forget the Caudal Ward. The way it refracts the light here reminds you of anything of the Queen of Rain and her crystalline aura, because truly the palace is beautiful. Each spire is made of stone and glass and metal, but each is built or designed by a different area of Lacuna, a different people. Each is different, and you could see different influences of cultures and times. One looks a bit more elf-like, one more dwarven. Ginny, you can see, even though the materials are the same, one spire speaks to you of mountain people. Just across the way, while the guards all wear the same livery, they are of many heritages. Some of you have not seen. OrLeon, I think you know that Boreas is more diverse a city than the other places you've been, though still mostly the population is human and dwarven and a little halfling. You see the first fawn, Ginny, that you've seen since you left home, and Mariana gestures for you to follow her across the bridge. My question for you before you do is what you'd like to do with Soren and Lorelei and Porphyry. If you want to bring them into the palace, if you want to have them find some place to meet up, you can split them up. You can take whatever you'd like to do. Just
I mean, I think Porphyry might be useful, but I'm also nervous about bringing 3 people.
I think, yeah, Sora and Lorelei should not come with us, I don't think. But Porphyry, I would leave it up to him.
Yeah.
Soren, I felt like, was traumatized by whatever happened with the Shadow Jacks, and perhaps Lorelei was as well. I don't think
Yeah, they deserve around in the inn.
yeah, they should just get a drink.
And as a reminder, Soren comes to Boreas a lot.
Yeah, he can find a place for them to be.
My concern about Porphyry is that he was not the head of, but a major henchman in the among
He
the
looks a little
heretics of hope.
different now.
He looks different now.
No, but she's gonna know who she's gonna
know.
who
How
he
would
is.
they know?
I mean, the question is does she know we're with him? I mean, who are we? We're also the people who freed the Queen of Daggers.
If you go down that path, there's no point doing anything because she knows where he is all the time.
This is a great question,
right?
and I think this would have come up on the way since he's the one who suggested that you come here, and I think he would have suggested that certainly she would know what happened in the Sallow Ring, but not necessarily that he was the one of the heretics of hope from 300 years ago. So, let's not pretend that they don't know him necessarily, but let's not bring up and maybe if we want to do a different name, we could do a different name, but
introduce him as somebody else. I don't think lying to them.
Right. This is Hawthorne.
I don't.
You're saying she wouldn't.
I don't.
Hilarious.
I don't want to lie to Harrows. I'm already nervous about being here.
Yeah.
I feel like
he
I
thinks
think-
that's a good. impulse.
It should be up to him if he wants to come or feels. I feel like I don't have any authority over what he does at this point.
Okay. Let's ask him.
But I feel okay recommending that Soren and Lorelai go get a drink.
You were told she has eyes on the Sallow Ring. I think you can safely assume that means she needs eyes, places, so she's not literally
Right.
omniscient.
Okay. That's good to know.
I suppose that's the case then with all queens. Like what they know is what they gather through their intelligence networks, not like what they know in any sort of supernatural way.
They might have some supernatural ways of knowing things depending on what they are.
And they might be different from each other.
Yes. Like they might have connections to certain places or objects or
Right.
like the Lord of Iron knows some things related to fate. Lemma knows now that he's like drawn to certain things that he doesn't. Like he used to know people's fates, and he was like his security clearance was revoked basically to those files, but he's still drawn to things without knowing why. So different figures might have that kind of, but no one is literally omniscient. That wouldn't be any fun. if the Queen of Harrows were literally omniscient, a lot of this just would have never happened.
It is probably a pretty good bet that A, we know the Queen of Harrows had eyes on the Sallow Ring, but B, we're in the Queen of Harrows' seat of power, and we feel the caudal ward extremely strongly here. And so she probably has eyes on us, not to mention she sent her representative to gather us. So subterfuge is probably pointless.
Agreed.
Porphyry says he'll stay with Soren and Lorelai for now. He can still communicate with OrLeon through the fungal network. Though, once you're separated, I'm going to say, because we're in Boreas and the caudal ward is so strong, I might require rolls to reestablish contact now and then. But he's going to stick with them. Thinks it's perfectly reasonable. Like, if she knows everything that happens, it's perfectly reasonable that he needed a rest. So he's going to go off and do that. And it'll be just the four of you. The gates of the palace are open, as they tend to be during the day, as the people come to the court to discuss their business. The Harvest Court oversees the daily business of Lacuna. OrLeon, your parents would have come here now and then to deal with the bureaucracy, frankly, such that it is, of being in the merchant class. And as Mariana strides in ahead of you, you see what appear to be harvest bureaucrats efficiently greeting people, triaging them into the areas that their business leads them. She walks past them. The people who are in the livery of the Harvest Court step aside and bow as she passes, and takes you straight through the great hall with its vaulted ceilings and its stained glass windows depicting scenes of Borean history, and through a corridor deeper into the palace. Would anyone like to share something they notice about the palace and the court as you're guided through? Haven't done this in a little bit.
Is this a hall, the hall that we're actually in? Like we would have gone through these halls to take care of like city business, or like at what point did we pass like where general public?
You are just stepping out of the great hall in which the general public is received. It's almost like a large guild hall or city hall.
Well, I would say one thing I noticed is that, when you said the bureaucrats were efficiently caring for people and triaging their needs, the efficiency itself was something I noticed, because it was not how I remembered Borean bureaucrats behaving. There was always a bit of a sense of the typical chaos that comes from people who they know who they're taking their orders from. They know, vaguely why they're doing it, but they were never terribly invested in it. But somehow there's something different. There's been something different in the city in general, but in that great hall, in the sense of efficiency, almost as if there is an intentionality and urgency about the way that civic operations are occurring.
And I think certainly there's a sense in which if you were here doing business, it would feel differently. When you're in it and you have to wait online, the fact that you have to be here at all feels unnecessary. But perhaps watching it from the outside, you sense a plan, a purpose in it all.
I think Evelyn notices that the artwork is art there. It's on the walls and on the floor. It's all mosaic. So she's so nervous. I think she's, her hands are like clenching and unclenching and stuff. But she's purposely like trying to see each individual tile and not the bigger picture. Like she's honing in on a red tile next to a yellow tile under an orange tile, and there's a little bit of green in that one. Like she's blurring the bigger picture to see the detail in the artwork around her. Like if when we get to the end of this hallway, if someone said, "What was that portrait of?" she wouldn't know.
Lemma is really struck by the moment of transition from the front public room into the kind of secret, or not secret, but where the stuff happens behind. And that reminds him deeply of the transition between the houses in grieving, where there's a backspace where functions are happening, where the family is and the house is preparing, and then there's a front space of reception and performance and ritual. And they are transitioning into the space where there's less pomp, but more function.
Absolutely.
I'm very much overwhelmed being here for a multitude of reasons. But the thing that's striking me right now is just how big this space is in what its function seems to be. There's no room this big anywhere in Horns Bend or anywhere near Horns Bend. I mean, you could fit so much wheat here. Like, just this is space that could be used to grow or to store grains or keep livestock, and it's all just seemingly a holding cell for people, and that's very strange to me.
And the Conjures was certainly the largest place you'd ever been when you arrived there.
Right.
I think you wonder, could the entire thing fit in this one hall?
Yes. Definitely our town hall could fit in here. Could probably fit 7 of them in here. And all of the fallows around the town could also fit in here too.
And as you go into the corridor, I think, Ginny, it's certainly a relief, but it's still, large for a corridor compared to the ones you're used to at the Conjures.
Very much so.
You would certainly notice that it's quieter than you'd expect. Footsteps on the floor, they don't echo the way you'd think. So someone thought of that.
Yeah. Meticulously planned. The acoustics.
So that is a bit of a jarring transition for you.
Yes.
The well-observed Lemma. She continues onwards. Mariana's footsteps not clanking, though her armor does rustle together. The plates of it, you do hear them crunch, I suppose, as you make your way down one corridor with windows along each side, but no doors on the walls. You're going one very specific place. And the door at the end is closed, but outside of it, waiting for you, is a man. He is what appears to be a man in maybe his 60s, wearing simple, neat clothing and some kind of workman's apron around his waist. His dark skin and close-cropped gray hair, kind but permanently tired eyes. He greets Mariana with a nod. She says to you all, "The draftsman," and she inclines her head to him. Almost all of you would have heard this name, though you would have been less certain than you were of Mariana that he actually existed, and would be a surprise to you to meet him in the flesh, as this is, stories tell, the man who, millennia ago, was the architect of Boreas and much of Lacuna itself. "Her Majesty is waiting for you," he says. "I might be able to be of some assistance depending on how that goes." She says to Mariana, Are they well? Was the journey safe?" And she looks to you all just to see if you need anything.
I think it's best if we go in straight away.
They both nod, and he puts his hand on the door and says to you, "Just remember to keep your hands to yourself. In my workshop, we ask permission." And he opens the door, and you step into I was going to say large, but you've just seen large. So we'll say a reasonably sized workshop of some things that you can understand and some that you cannot. There are objects moving around each other. There are tea kettles pouring themselves. There are liquids brewing. There are models of houses. There are strange, glowing sculptures in corners. And at the far end, by a windowed recess with a very, very long wooden desk, there are two figures. At the desk is a very short woman, and lying in the window with her feet up on the frame is a gorgeous, curvaceous woman with her hair flowing down, a gray streak in it. The woman in the window turns to the woman at the desk and says, "You have guests, darling." And the woman at the desk turns around, and you are faced with the Queen of Harrows. While the queens you've met so far, one of the first things you've felt has been their size. And the woman before you is tiny. Ginny, she probably comes up to your waist. She is beautiful, of course, jet black hair and warm skin. She's wearing some beautiful silk bias cut dress that looks not of this era, some strange design, some strange print. Her facial features are almost elven, but not quite. And Ginny, you swear as she moves towards you, you see hooves and fur underneath. It's unclear what heritage or species she is, if she is one, if she is many, if it changes. Now that you think of it, any portrait you've seen of her has been face and eyes and fabric, and this woman turns and looks up at you all and claps her hands once and says, "Ah, wonderful. They're here. Our young heroes, possibly." And the woman in the window says, "She hates heroes." The queen shoots her quite a look, says, "Wizard, you can go back to the Zephyr Court if that's how you're going to be. Apologies, friends. When she thinks things, she says them, and that's why she's so helpful around here. Now, tell me everything. And she hops up on her desk and crosses her legs and folds her hands and looks at you very intently.
One hardly knows where to begin with everything.
OrLeon nods vigorously.
Drinks! We should begin with drinks. And she snaps her fingers, and you all have a glass of champagne. Do you need to sit?
Evelyn looks at hers like it's poison.
There's probably chairs about if you look for them, but we have all the time that you'll need.
Surely there's parts of the story that you already know. I wouldn't want to be redundant or boring.
Oh, you won't bore me, don't worry.
Great.
And she smiles. She waves a hand, and you see it's covered with strange metal rings. There's a necklace around her neck. There's a pendant that has metal parts that don't seem to touch each other or connect to anything. They're suspended. They're all things she seems to have created, made herself. You're surrounded by not just the draftsman's work, but the queen's herself. You understand that she is making a demand, but also that she is keenly interested.
Is there a way to tell or observe if there are objects of magic or enchantments present in this room?
There are objects of magic present in this room. It's what this room is for.
That are directed at us?
If you would like to... finding that out without...
Is she enchanting us? That's what Evelyn wants to figure out. Like, is she under some sort of enchantment? Is there something in this drink? Are we being...
I'm guessing you'd like to find that out without doing something obvious.
Asking.
And without,
yes.
like,
yes.
getting out
Yeah.
your book and casting a spell. Like,
yes.
so this would be like a roll. This would be
an instinct roll. I do have the School of Knowledge,
read that to me again.
which gives me advantage. You've gained priceless knowledge through great study. You have advantage on all knowledge rolls to recall information. If this roll is about the magical nature of a creature or enchantment, gain a hope even on a roll with fear. So I guess she's been studying for a year. If she's familiar with enchantments that are put on a room where people are giving information, you know what I mean? Like, she's trying to figure out if there's something going on in this room that might make her say something she doesn't mean to, or if that's just her own nerves.
Is there some sort of Veritas charm on
Yeah.
the room?
I think she intends to lie, but I think she would like to know if everything's on the up and up.
You're not analyzing the current situation. You're trying to recall what you might know. Something you might have read about.
Yeah. Her court, her presence, herself, things she likes to. I mean, everything that Katie has garnered from about the Queen of Harrows is that she's pretty straightforward, but walking into this room with all these mechanical devices and things, and I think she's racking her brain to try to remember anything she knows that might not give Evelyn an advantage, but at least negate the Queen's advantage if she has one.
All right, go ahead and give me a roll.
So I'm going to do knowledge with advantage for my School of Knowledge. 15 with fear. Oh, I'm sorry. That was a 7, not a 1. So it's actually 15 plus 6 is 21 with fear.
That's better.
Yeah.
Let's see. That puts me into the spot where I have to think.
That's the same roll as last time,
Yeah.
only with fear,
Well,
not hope.
Except this was a higher DC than last time. You haven't read anything about like this room or
Yeah.
I guess I don't have to give you anything because you rolled with fear and you missed the DC.
It's just a total failure.
But on a 21, Yeah, this room is a mystery to you, and you have not read anything about, especially devices associated with the Queen of Harrows and like interrogations or reprisals or truth telling.
Are you gonna do anything with that information, Evelyn?
I didn't get any information, so I think she's just looking kind of disappointed and scared. If you have a move you want to make, Ginny, please. Otherwise, Evelyn's just going to start telling them what happened from the beginning.
Yeah. I bow my head in reverence, because this is my queen. Your Grace, your sister, the Queen of Rains, and the Queen of Bones were engaged in some sort of conflict with innocent people caught in the middle, and we need your help.
Well, that's not everything, but it's an important thing. She gestures Mariana to come over, and Mariana kind of mutters in her ear, "Oh yes, the Shadowjacks, and the woman from the window who's now set up, the wizard apparently. Oh, those mad poets, I like them. Well, I know you do, dear, but it's not really the issue. All right. Well, my sister hasn't come to visit, so I think she's feeling poorly about how that went. And no cities have been flattened
Not yet.
yet, which means the girl's sacrifice seems to have put a damper on that spat. Sorry, I shouldn't talk about it that way. Someone died. You were friends with her.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I'm very sorry. Thank you for helping however you could. What exactly happened before that with my mother?
In the Sallow Ring.
Yes. And I have been given to understand that you know about my mother and don't play dumb. I've been given to understand you're not dumb.
We're not dumb. No, but we don't know what you already know. It seems like you already know. So if you want to know if we're intending to lie to you, I don't think we are.
I think you're intending to not accidentally tell me things you don't have to tell me.
Would that be the wrong thing to do? To be reasonable
From my point of view, yes.
with humblest respects, yes, of course. Your
Majesty.
the Majesty.
Grace was also fine, but since you were looking for the word.
I was, thank you. But with all due reverence, there are we have come to learn more queens than was previously known, and things are much more complex than was previously known, and it seems through no choice of our own, we were placed in a position to be very consequential in the outcome of a quite, forgive me, but harrowing moment. And so it is difficult to know what to say to whom for the sake of all, Your Grace.
She gives a little clap. Yes, complex. That's why you're here. That's my area. Give me one of those. The woman on the window has opened a cigarette case and hands her one. She lights up. This I'm not offering you. You're all too young.
Roll like either 20 or just below 20.
She's offering you alcohol.
You have-
not tobacco.
You have to be 35 to smoke.
No one should ever smoke. I'm an immortal god
No
queen.
one should ever smoke.
When you're 3004, then you can smoke. Not a day before. I'm a fan of puzzles. That's what the city is, really. And that's what the four of you are and are caught up in. Lemma, yes?
Lemma resists the urge to say, actually, it's Hawthorne. Lemma just nods his head.
I know my sister talked to you, asked you to nip all this in the bud. It was a good effort on her part. That's what she's good at, to in the moment reactions, emergency response. She's fortunate. She was in the right place at the right time, and she tried to just resolve things as quickly as possible. But I understand. You kids are young, and this was all very confusing, and you didn't ask for it. There's no ill will, and you're right. It's more complex than just that. And, well, Fortune had, that it was emotional for her. It's emotional for all of us, as I'm sure you know by now. So, that's why I'm not here giving you orders, or... That's why we're having a nice chat. Maybe I'll put it this way. Did you notice that sculpture in the corner? And she points at the large metal glowing thing that you passed by on the way here. Now that you turn your attention to it, I suspect it is basically a helix. It is two dark metal strands twisted around each other. Not cleanly. Looks a bit painful. And the glow is... It's something like caudal energy. After what you've been through the past few days, I think you'd recognize it as something like hope and fear, chaos and fate, chance and this other thing that is not chance. Tangled up. I made that, she said. It's not nothing to take fate from the god of fate and twist it. It's not something I did lightly, but sometimes you have to prevent a catastrophe. I've been curating it, I suppose, these 300 years. It's just a part. Just that part. You know about the heretics, I suppose, by now?
Yes.
I'm not trying to interfere with the man, or I haven't been. Now that he is a man, make sure he stays in his place. Those strands have been getting closer together. Things are happening in Lacuna, as I'm sure you know. So why are you here?
Well, frankly, we're here because we were told to come here before you summoned us and displeased you.
Whoever told you that was wise. And I am touched to know that you don't want to displease me.
Personally, I'm afraid to displease you, and I think the distinction is important.
Well, obviously you should be. I think you probably mean because you think I'm punitive. You think I'll hurt you. You should be afraid to displease me. Because if I'm displeased, that probably means you've made a choice that's bad for the realm.
By your reckoning.
She slowly stands up. What's your opinion of my reckoning?
I have no opinion of your reckoning.
None.
I just want to understand it.
That is a bit bold.
Moral compass is not absolute. Of course, you must know that.
Quiet. Let's just take a moment to acknowledge the boldness of it. To stand in my workshop, as I've been governing this realm for thousands of years, and say to my face you have no opinion of my reckoning. None whatsoever, Miss Ravenwood?
I admit it's bold. I admit it's bold to say it. But I have learned many new things in the last few days. And I think it would be unwise to follow it blindly. And I think you would agree. An unquestioned authority. Well, yes, I would have a problem with that.
Unquestioned was not the question. She turns to the wizard and says, You're right. It doesn't matter how much you do, does it? Well then, let's skip past that part, where I expect you to trust me. We weren't going to dwell there. You're children, after all. Where do we go from this impasse? Because I still do believe that it really has to be you four. Because yes, I know that you released Glory from her exile, though you wouldn't even tell me that.
When Mariana came to me in the dream, she said you already knew.
Obviously.
Did not seem wise to waste your time.
Queen of Harrows, is what you want a brief, crisp summary of everything that has happened to us in the past 2 weeks?
I had wanted to give you an opportunity to be honest,
Wonderful.
to show that you were open with me.
We were dispatched to a small town to do a task for a reason we didn't understand. We stumbled upon a tomb where the Queen of Bones was interred and accidentally released her, and some horrors that we didn't understand. We then encountered the Queen of Rains, who gave me an assignment I didn't understand. Not understanding it, we fled, encountered a group of people we didn't understand, were impelled into a mission we were deceived into, which we didn't understand, and then were given the instruction to come here to see you, which, although it was for a good reason, we still do not fully understand. So if you want a full accounting of what has happened and why we are here, you can get the facts, but we have no idea how they connect, and no idea what you want to know.
I don't need you to connect them. Did you talk to anyone else I might find of note?
Again, not presuming to know who you would find of note, I cannot answer that question.
The Lord of Iron?
Yes.
You're forgiven, she says to Evelyn. Draftsman, give him something cool before they go. Easy? What needs to happen? Raise your hand if you've spoken to the Lord of Iron. As himself, he has a few mortal lives that may or may not have counted, but if he approached you in a more direct way.
I raise my hand.
Evelyn raises her hand.
OrLeon raises his hand.
It's most of you. What has he asked you for?
To help them see. It's the only thing he said to me when I was trying to clear a square.
He told me that the best way to contain Glory is to free her sister, the Queen of Daggers.
That's clever because it's not wrong.
But it's not fully correct, is it?
Well, it just happens to be what he wants.
Yes, I understood that as well.
As she says this, she's been holding the cigarette in her left hand, and she just absent-mindedly takes the thumb of her left hand and rubs a spot on her right chest. Why now is always a question. We'll skip that. What has he told you about how?
Well, we know where, and that the key to bringing her forth is the Heart of Fire, which, of course, only you know the location of.
That does stop her. When you say we know where, she was about to say something. Like she hadn't been sure if you knew, if you'd understood that part. And when you say the Heart of Fire, right, right. Fucking of course. And he can't come here, so he sent you. Kind of grasping at straws. So are you here planning to get it? Are you here to thwart him?
Your Grace, we don't know what we are here to do. We are here to do what's best, what's right. We don't know.
That's a good answer, if there is a good answer.
It seems that the time to put Glory back in her cage has passed. Is that an incorrect assumption?
That's the dilemma that's been forced. Reveal the Heart of Fire, bring it into play to destroy my adversaries. But, well, I don't know if you know the but, so
Destroy yourself as well.
thank you. Give her something cool too, Jasmine.
Evelyn's tallying points. Lemma 1. Evelyn 1.
She's rewarding honesty.
Yeah.
When you said before it had to be us four, what did you mean?
Well, you started it all. You unleashed it. There are a few reasons that might mean it can only be you to stop it. And she holds her finger in the air like it's a divining rod. Kind of waves Ginny away, hovers over the OrLeon and Lemma, lands on Evelyn. Daggers picked you, didn't she?
So it would seem.
She's also a planner.
That's what I hear.
I'd like to say was. There's something about how this all played out that doesn't quite smack of Iron's style. You four, don't take this wrong way, feel a little messy.
He seems a bit neutered.
Why, thank you. I do my best. I don't mind messy. Mess is where growth comes from. That's how we harvest. I like ideas. I like possibilities. That's what Iron and Madness didn't like or understand about me. I want a way forward. I don't need it to be my one way forward. So if you messy bunch are the way, I'm in. That doesn't mean I'm not worried. You're going to stay here tonight while I think. The draftsman will find some things to help. The Heart of Fire is not something I just unleash.
May I ask, are you considering the possibility of all 4 queens reigning at once more?
No. And that's when she lowers the collar of her dress and shows you the horrific scar left by Glory's sword. That's not a possibility, dear. I don't know if there's a way. There's a thing I can say that you'll leave this room without putting that on me, but it's not a possibility. I'm sorry my mother was so good at turning queens against me, but that's what happened.
And there is no hope for reconciliation. There is no possibility in your mind that the world could be very different from the way it used to be. that seasons change.
Why don't we talk in the morning?
Thank you.
You asked us what we did to your mother. And like much of this, we do not understand. But I think we separated what was left of her from this plane.
Good, thank you. That was a strange loose end. Wasn't mine to resolve, though. She thinks about it for a second. She has a drink of her champagne that she left neglected. And looks the four of you over. Four of you, so funny. I wish I'd planned this, but I didn't. I almost admire it. All right, someone will feed you. We have rooms, books, etc. Don't leave the palace, but tomorrow all will be well. You're dismissed or whatever. And she turns her back and returns to the work at her desk.
Ginny would want to stay behind for a few minutes.
Yes, let's.
If everyone else is walking out.
I think Mariana senses this and encourages you.
Your Majesty, I have a question, if I may.
Oh, yes. Ginny, or do you prefer... Is it Genevieve?
Ginny, please.
Ginny, yes. I'm sorry. I should have said hello more personally.
It's quite all right. You're busy.
I am that.
No idleness from you.
One moment. Jasmine, could you take your wife before she... And the wizard gives her like a rude gesture and a smile, and they both go. She gives me excellent ideas, but she is a lot. So...
Of course.
Mariana, see to her friends. And in a moment, you are alone with the Queen of Harrows.
You say that you didn't plan this. Why me?
Oh, well, that's different. You're obvious, Ginny. Why would it be anyone but you?
Why did it have to be me?
Oh. I see. How far back are we going with that question?
Let's go back to the Harvest Festival when I was 10 years old.
Sit down.
I sit down. And I wait.
Now what I want to do is ask you questions. Are you saying you wish you didn't have powers? Are you saying you wish you hadn't saved your... But you've earned answers.
So much of the world is different than what I've been taught. And if that was wrong, if the world was wrong, then my joyous little world was also wrong. And snide comments behind smiles was wrong.
Oh.
And it didn't have to be that way.
Darling.
So tell me, why me?
Oh, darling. All of our world is wrong and the way it can only be. I'm sorry about that.
All they did was in your name. Were they wrong?
They did their best with what they had, with their ability to understand me and a confusing world. And I did my best to create a world for my people where they had a chance to make happiness for themselves, where they were safe. And this ward is what I had to give. And I told you I like puzzles. mortal heart is still one of those to me. I'm not quite one of you still, as much as I adore you. So I have to remind myself sometimes how different you all wind up. I have trouble judging you. Sometimes I have trouble seeing how much pain you bring each other and not forgiving. Because I know how much you're all fucked, if you'll pardon. But you don't need to. You're not me. You don't have to forgive anyone.
Well, I do, and I will, because I love them, despite it all. Are we just puzzle pieces to you, Your Majesty?
No. No, I'm sorry if that's what... I mean, you're proof that I've never been good at explaining myself to mortals. What it is I want, believe in. People take a lot of different messages. I had to, a long time ago, just sort of decide that it didn't matter. That people were always going to just say what they needed to say and believe what they needed to believe. I kind of gave up on mortal words at a certain point. But you, Ginny, are so... I don't know that poetry chose you. You just are it. You are everything that the ward was supposed to be. You protect, and you love, and you want to keep all the bad things away.
I'm pretty good at it.
You are.
Wish I was better, though.
You'll get better. And you, even when you were at your lowest, you withstood glory. Even when you were in pain, even when you had no idea what was going on. You proved to me and to yourself that it's all real in your heart. And it's not about following a path. That's him. That's Iron. That's not me. It's about moving forward and figuring out the path. And believing that moving forward matters.
I will. It matters to me.
I know.
It would be nice to know a direction to go in, though.
Well, you have finally brought me a puzzle that is challenging. So I need to do a little work.
Well, I'm nothing if not hospitable. Hospitality's my one skill.
Ah, yes. Your one skill.
Yes.
It's not necessarily mine. That's why I mostly stay back here and let others do the hosting.
I could spend an eternity in here as well. There's lots of stuff to do in here.
There is. There's lots of stuff to do. It's never done. And it never stops. And I'm lucky I have my sister to bear the load. It weighs on her sometimes more than on me. We'll figure this out, Ginny. I'm sorry that it's confusing how to feel about your family. I can relate to that.
It sounds like you can. I'm sorry for what they did to you.
Thank you. It's ancient history.
Well, let's hope we don't repeat it.
Maybe that's something I should tell you, is that sometimes the work of bringing everyone together, apparently it leaves you standing alone. For a bit, at least. I can't tell you I know why that is, but that seems to be how it happens. So I can't tell you you'll never feel alone, young Ginny, but That's why we move forward.
Thank you. And I scrub the tears out of my eyes with the heels of my hands. And I stand.
And she bends down to give you a kiss on the forehead, and you suddenly realize she is tall.
Yes.
And then, as the kiss is done, she is her normal size again. You're not quite sure what happened in between.
We'll just chalk it up to one of those things that we don't fully understand.
And she gestures towards the door where Mariana is now waiting.
And I bow and I walk silently out of the room.
You catch up with each other in the hall. Mariana brings Ginny to the rest of the group. You are being escorted by a steward of the Harvest Court to a hallway deeper in the palace with a bunch of, seems to be, unused guest rooms. And Mariana continues along with you for the rest of this particular journey, if you have any questions for her. And you are being taken deeper into the palace. As you do, you realize that feeling of the closeness of the Caudle Ward was almost ironically not, you forgot about it while you were in that workroom, but you're feeling it again elsewhere in the palace.
And I still apparently feel it less than everybody else.
None of you asked. I offered you a chance to roll, and none of you took me up on it. So just decided that you noticed, you were least quick to notice it, just because of kind of where you are on the hope, fear, Gantt chart.
Yeah. Is it because I'm apparently the one that Harrows picked that I...
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
And the ward feels, the sky feels close. It's humid with Caudle Ward here.
Is it at all directional? Is it all like when I'm facing this way, it feels stronger, and when I'm facing this way, it's
No,
less, like
no.
It's not, it's just present.
It's just present. Though actually, does Evelyn have that question?
Yes.
Could she make a roll?
Evelyn has many questions.
Yeah. Evelyn has every
Evelyn is
question at
nothing
once.
but questions.
Can Evelyn make a navigate roll based on instinct?
Sure, why not? Ooh. That is 20.
Oh,
with fear. Rolled a 12 on my fear.
interesting.
Just do it scared.
Oh, and I rolled a 7. Oh, but I'm all full of hope, so it doesn't matter. I rolled my strange patterns.
You rolled a 20?
Yes.
Okay. I like those with fear. So you wonder that question almost idly. And the general answer is no. But as you pass a doorway, you feel that down that doorway, there is...
Shit.
It is so much stronger.
Evelyn stops in front of the doorway.
What's wrong?
Do you feel that?
Feel what?
She's looking at all of them.
Do we?
Evelyn puts her hand on the door. Where does this go?
Mariana takes your hand off the door and says that you don't want to go down there. Keep on your way.
God, the fastest way to get her to do something is to tell her not to do it.
That's the prison wing of
Prison.
Mariana said. Mariana takes. Yes, there are. We don't often need to take prisoners, but there's some unsavory characters down there.
Anyone we'd know?
What? Mariana says.
Unsavory characters. We've met a lot of them. Is it anyone we would know?
What unsavory characters do you know?
We just hung out with Shadowjacks for like 2 days.
Well, I don't think we had time to arrest any of them.
Are they more unsavory than that?
Yes.
A sudden peak of curiosity out of Ginny.
Keep walking.
Yes, ma'am.
Crowns.
Evelyn keeps walking.
Lemma feels this like guilty little surge of satisfaction that someone has finally managed to genuinely upset one of these people.
Use recant now, quick.
Ooh, gosh. Lemma's tempted, but will refrain from trying to cast a spell on this 300-year-old hero.
Far old. Like,
Yeah.
Much older.
much on the greatest year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mariana, there's something that's been bothering me. Lots of things have been bothering me today, it seems.
All right.
What the wizard said about Her Majesty not liking heroes.
She gives her bark-like laugh. Her Majesty doesn't like pains in her ass. Most of the time when heroes come to her attention, that's what we're dealing with.
I think we made it pretty clear we're not
Oh,
Pains in the ass?
That we're not pains in the ass.
heroes.
Oh.
Mariana.
We're definitely pains in the ass.
Well, I think she's hoping you'll turn out to be heroes.
Is she, or is she hoping we'll turn into instruments?
What is with you kids?
We've met a lot of strange people over the last couple weeks.
We've been manipulated a
long
great
week.
deal.
Where were you raised? Why would you say that to me? What? Like, she has stopped. She's fully stopped.
Recant.
So Lemma was raised on the road. OrLeon's from here. I'm from Hornsbend, and you're from not Larksong,
Vespertine.
Vespertine. That's where we were all raised.
But I think we grew up just in the last few days.
Oh, or was? Oh, I'm sorry. Was that a rhetorical question?
Not exactly. That helps. That helps a little, I suppose. But why would I say she's hoping you'll be heroes if I meant that? And what answer and what response did you think you were going to get from me by saying that? I mean, genuinely.
Well, I think we know now.
No, shh. Let him answer.
Well,
Don't help him.
I suppose it was a rhetorical question of my own. That audience did not leave me with the impression that she was eager to let us exercise free will in what is to happen next. She did not disguise an overtone of menace. Now, she is a queen and deserves our respect, but I don't think we are out of line to ask how much latitude she intends to afford us.
So you don't know what a hero is? I see. Okay. Well, you'll find out.
It's yet another thing we don't understand.
Well, thank you for helping me understand you a little bit more. Here are 4 rooms. They're 2 opposite each other. 2 and 2, that is. Enjoy.
Thank you, ma'am.
Do you have any dietary restrictions? Tell the steward. The steward will handle that, and you'll be brought meals. Tell
Anyone
him
allergic to peanuts.
Lemma is reeling.
Tell him where you want your meals brought. Lemma is what?
Lemma is reeling.
And there's a study down the hall, if that interests you. It has a nice balcony, and the steward will also collect you in the morning to break fast with the queen. Please bathe before that. Sleep well. And Mariana,
I lead him over to Lemma. I think she just implied that you smell.
it was all of you.
I don't think I've ever been in a place that was so pungent with authority and amenities at the same time.
You should come to Hornsbend.
It's disturbing. I'm going to study.
Lemma's actually going to start by taking a bath.
Sensitive.
All
Just
right.
use prestidigitation.
So the steward sets up a tub in the room for everyone who wants it, and heated water is brought. And if you want to be not helped with your bath, you will have to shoo away a servant, but there are nice soaps. It's stone floor, but there's rugs near the bed and the hearth. The small wooden tub.
Lemma intends to wash and like put on presumably like a nice terry cloth robe.
It's not terry cloth, but there's a robe.
Just a satin smoking jacket.
Lemma comes in with this like silk robe and a flute of champagne. Lemma's just gonna like start with that. He's also gonna ask for his clothes to be washed.
The steward, yeah.
Great.
The beds are being warmed. Standard stuff. Coal pans.
And after a relatively functional scrub, Lemma will put on the complimentary robe, and I guess
It's a very
pajama
nice
pants.
smelling soap.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. So we all will beat up in the study in our robes and our fuzzy slippers. And
It's actually a heavy felt.
heavy felt.
It's like a
Anyway, Lemma chooses to start with a bath before coming to the study. I don't know if everyone chooses to do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I go right to that.
No, Evelyn's going to go to the study to find a book to bring into the bath. She'll be very careful with it, but I would like to use an experience
Yeah.
to find the most interesting or rare book in that library that she would want to, if she has one night in the Harrowing.
Okay, don't bring a rare book into the bath. I know, like,
Okay, no, she'll just put it to the side, but
Okay.
she wants to have the book for when she gets out of the bath.
Okay.
But I would like to use this experience I've never used before.
Which one is it?
I can find that for you.
Okay.
To find like the best book that this study has to offer.
Okay, absolutely. Let me think.
Yeah.
We'll come back to that while I think about what it should be.
Great.
All right, and the steward has taken down any dietary restrictions and is going to bring you all something.
I don't eat turnips.
That one surprises him. He's not. He hasn't heard that one before. So we can accommodate that, I'm sure.
Thank you.
It's going to be like you're going to get some, and that's good because it's like basically bringing like whatever roast meat and root vegetables they were serving up. So it's like no turnips. All right, there was probably going to be turnips if she hadn't said that.
I'll eat a parsnip, but not a turnip.
All right, I'll make sure. I'm just gonna not. We'll stick with greens because I can't promise you like the root vegetables are chopped up, and roasted at this point. So I'm not entirely sure that I can't personally tell the difference between a cube of roast parsnip and a cube of roast turnip. So I'm just gonna.
I appreciate your accommodations, sir.
He's gonna just bring everyone's food to the study since it sounds like that's where you're all heading, so you can eat together.
I take a proper bath for the first time since Lark Song. Polish my horns, and I go into the study. They brought me horn polish. It was very sweet of them. I appreciate it very much.
I choose to imagine that Ginny comes out with like 2 hair towels wrapped around her hands.
I definitely do. I have all my hair piled up into one, and then I've got 2 little like tea towels that I've wrapped around my horns because I've got to steam the polish into it. It turns out I have a lot of hair that I pull back into that ponytail.
All right, so I didn't realize that walk to the rooms was going to be the most chaotic part of the session.
Look, I just cried in front of a queen. I needed some comic relief. God damn it!
Personal hygiene. So-
Yes.
and the rest of us needed some exfoliating.
Especially OrLeon. He spent part of his time as a bear.
So you gather in the study. Your food is there. It smells great. The steward was specifically instructed to bring you some wine, but no cigars. Anything you would like to discuss before bed?
Prison ward. What'd you feel over there?
It was very strong. Through that door, I wondered if it wasn't where the Heart of Fire was.
It'd make sense, wouldn't it?
But Mariana wouldn't lie about it being a prison, would she?
She may think the Heart of Fire is unsavory. All she said is unsavory characters. She didn't say anything about it
Being a person.
being a person.
Unless the Heart of Fire is a person, which case, bloody hell.
Well, given everything else that's happened.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Is it possible that the prison is somehow located across the ward?
Now, there's a thought.
It would be a good place to hide the Heart of Fire as well.
Maybe it's the heart of the machine that powers the horde. Just based on that workshop, it's probably a machine.
That device in the corner,
Which one?
the
The one she referred to.
one that was,
The double helix.
yeah, an iconography
Oh,
of
yes.
metal. She said she took fate from the god of fate and twisted it.
She made him mortal.
And she took away somehow his control of or knowledge of the paths.
He certainly has things he can't talk about. As if his mind or tongue won't go there. He knows the Queen of Daggers' true name, but he couldn't say it.
It seems we should try to understand something, but I don't even know what questions to ask anymore.
If Harrows only sees one way, then that's what she'll ask us to undertake.
She doesn't know what it is yet, though. She didn't think of it as a set path like the Lord of Iron seems to think things are. Just something to forge our way forward.
But she eliminates possibility. She will not consider an outcome in which all four queens survive and are free.
If you were stabbed and betrayed multiple times, would you?
I make no judgment on her point of view. I'm merely saying it's all well and good for her to say we should forge a path, but if the path diverges from hers, that is not choice.
Force
Sad.
her to reign among three other queens if she
There
No.
is another
if she doesn't
possibility.
consent to.
What if there weren't any queens?
Well, that seems to be the other possibility.
She did make it sound like it was an all or nothing choice. But I wonder if the queens, for all the power they have the power to effect this. The Queen of Rain asked me to imprison Glory when the place to do it was a short distance away.
The moment Lemma says the Queen of Rain, Evelyn gasps and runs back to her room.
Was it something you said?
The rest of us assume it's fine and stay here. No.
No, I obviously I go after Evelyn. What's wrong?
When you get to the room, Evelyn is rummaging through her clothes to make sure they have not been taken by the stewards and finds the dagger. Or, I should say, looks for the dagger that she has had in her pocket since Lemma gave it to her after speaking with the Queen of Rain.
Did you tell them
No,
to take
I
your
mean,
clothes and wash?
I literally was going to not tell them to take it because I have prestidigitation and can clean my own clothes and wouldn't want anyone taking. But I did not think of it because of the dagger. So she would have said,
If you didn't
no, thank
tell them
you."
to, then
Great. Then she goes back and gets the dagger out of her pocket and puts it in the pocket of her fine silk robe that I'm assuming she's wearing.
No, you were the only one that got like one of made of. It's like a hair shirt, you know.
Great. As long as it has pockets, I don't care. Put the dagger in there.
That was your reward for your performance in the workshop.
Pretty
Yeah, I'm
bold
sure.
choice.
No.
Evelyn runs back through the halls, brandishing.
I'm just running after her. I'm like, Like, where are we going?
All right, so Evelyn and Ginny return. Sorry, and she sort of pulls the hilt out of her pocket and shows it to Lemma. I didn't think I should leave this in the room.
Yes, that's probably wise.
Do you want it back?
Oh.
I don't know why I have it.
I don't know why I should either.
Well, it was given to you.
That's true.
I'm happy to hold on to it, but
What does the hilt of this dagger look like?
It's extremely smooth. It looks like it wouldn't be like good to hold, like almost too smooth, but it's just curved enough to fit nicely in a palm.
Does it fit in the scabbard that I already have for my dagger?
Yes, though not perfectly. The blade itself is a bit irregular, I think, but it will do.
Okay. So it's not as though it would be easy to conceal.
well, Evelyn's had it this whole time.
Yeah,
and nobody's noticed, so it
Right.
can't be that difficult to conceal.
No, I was just thinking, like, is there any reason to, like, sort of carry it conveniently? Lemma thinks it makes sense for Evelyn to hold on to it, just at the bottom of the bag where it's been the whole time.
Can somehow not cutting the bag, though it could destroy the name of a god itself.
Tied up in a sock.
Yes. So Evelyn has it once again. Is that where?
Yeah.
As you determine this, you hear a knock on the door, but without waiting, really, the door opens and the draftsman enters.
Oh, you get your cool stuff.
He says, "Pardon me, friends. I just wanted to stop by, see if everything was all right, and ask a few questions about the something cool I'm supposed to make for you all. Any requests? I don't know. Despite the image the queen might create, we're not actually omniscient. I don't know what you have or what you do."
Give Lemma a cool sword.
I think I heard, does a sword something? Are we looking for swords? Are we looking for? Are we spellcasters? Are we?
Oh, I am.
He writes a little note. You cast spells? Are you a grimoire type?
Yes. And also not.
Care to tell me more about that?
Well, it's like what Ginny does. I don't think I'm quite as good at it as she is, but it's just sort of, I think about it, and there it is.
Splendor as well
Yes.
as code.
Sure.
What are you talking about? You're amazing at that.
I'm not as good as you.
I didn't even know I could do it.
Doesn't matter.
But I mean, I did, but I didn't want to.
You should talk to Lemma.
He won't talk to me.
I'll come back to the ladies. I think they're in the middle of something. Are you Lemma?
Turnips.
Yes, I am Lemma.
And same question. What do you do, young man?
Yes, Lemma, what do you do?
Well, I do have a sword that I use,
Mm-hmm.
a rapier. I think what I do is I manipulate the words that form the story of reality.
Ah, interesting. I mean, a cool rapier I can easily do. Is there? But I'm also up for a challenge. Would you like something that helps you manipulate reality with your words, or would you rather have a cool sword?
You know, when you say those two together, I think I'd prefer the first one.
I'll see what I can come up with. It'll be a little out of my element, but I'm looking forward to it.
Maybe something that gives him 2 mage hands.
He has two hands, one for each. Can hold 1 mage hand each.
Well, you joke, but that's the kind of thing my wife would say. Brilliant ideas come from jokes like that, so we'll see. And you, my man, I told you're a nature guy, but what else are you? Or should we stick with nature guy?
Yes, although I don't remember Her Majesty singling me out for something cool, but I
Well, I'm not going to turn any of you away empty-handed, am I?
Yes, I do cast spells. I seem to turn into at least some animals.
Oh.
He makes a very good bear.
I try to understand truths beneath truths, I suppose.
That might be a little bit outside what I can help you with in a night, but good for you. Anything you found yourself wishing you could do just a little better?
I wish I could be a little more resilient against attack.
That I could definitely help you with. That I could do no problem. The mademoiselle over here, the fawn. I know, that is a beautiful shield, first of all.
Thank you.
I cannot help but recognize it.
I've borrowed it for the time being. I intend on giving it back.
I've done some work on that, and I have to say it is beauty. I could maybe, I don't know if you need anything from me, but if you had a wish, what would it be?
And I think about what I was talking to Harrows about, and I'm like, I can't help with that.
If you wanted to give me the shield back for the night, I could maybe, tinker with it some more.
No, I think I would like
To hold on to it?
Yes.
Mariana's the same way. Yeah, but
what OrLeon said actually gave me an idea. I have had to repair my armor a whole lot. And it might be a little nice to have something I don't need to repair as often.
I'll think on that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh man, I could have asked for a cool sword. And I just mumbled it under my breath and I just go back to eating.
All right, back to you, Ms. Grimoire, but not quite. So, if you imagine yourself doing what the things you like to do most, what would you like to do a little bit better?
I like the formulas. I like the recipes. I like making it all come together just the right way. It's very satisfying.
All right.
Not that healing people isn't nice.
It feels kind of funny, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, where does it come from?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, you know what they say about the best defense.
Is a really good shield.
No.
Is that the expression?
No, it's a really cool sword.
The best defense is a terrific defense.
A bigger shield.
There were no wrong answers on that. Let's just... All right. Great. This is all really helpful. Thank you. I think we're all leaving tomorrow, so not, these are just things I can do overnight. Not promising miracles, but I think you'll be happy.
Well, thank you. So generous.
Thank you, sir.
That's what I do. You all right? You kids all right?
Not really.
Oh, no. Not at all.
Certainly not.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for asking.
No, we've been invited here to the palace of a god, threatened and given presents.
It's funny when you look at it like that.
Makes for a very confusing.
We've also been very well bathed.
Yeah.
Yes.
And well and conscientiously fed. But it is confusing.
He's
We
right
did meet a
around the
literal
corner.
wizard.
We did meet a literal wizard. That's true.
I am a little. Whatever.
We've been walking around with a wizard this whole time.
But I mean, we met somebody called the wizard.
Well,
Yes.
yeah. My wife, that's her name, is it? She doesn't She isn't a wizard, but she's the wizard. That's more the ideas. Our son's more of a wizard than she is.
Who's your son?
Well, I mean, properly he's a magician, but
That magician?
he is a wizard. Well, the magician. He's out doing his thing. You know how it is. We're proud of him.
Do any of you all have... I mean, it's always good to have an occupation, but you only refer to yourselves as such.
You mean as opposed to sort of a mortal type name, the way Mariana has hers?
Yes.
Well, some do. It's just, as for some of us, it doesn't translate well. And for some, I mean, a lot of mortal names just mean things like that in older languages. I mean, it's like my wife. She's not a wizard. It's just,
She's the wizard.
yeah, that's how people feel about her. That's what people call her.
How does she feel about her?
Great. She feels great.
So healthy.
Most of the time.
I'll have what she's having.
Yeah.
we are four like teenagers trying to figure out what the hell is going on,
Yeah.
and we're talking to people who are thousands of years old, and they're
Yeah.
like, "What are you talking about? My name's the draftsman." Like, what the fuck's your problem, dude?
Well, the draftsman says some days I want what she's having too. Don't get me wrong. It's
Thanks for letting us relieve a little bit of the tension of the circumstances. But to answer your question, yeah, we're not great.
well, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear you felt threatened. There's a lot of serious stuff going on here.
You can say that again.
But I don't think anyone means you harm. As he says that, there's you hear several pairs of slightly clanky boots approach. And now standing in the doorway, you see Mariana and 4 guards. And Mariana says, "Draftsman, can you give us a minute?" He looks, a little confused. And he doesn't leave. He steps aside inside. And Mariana says, "I'm here because I want you to know you're not in trouble and you're not under arrest." And she says this looking at Evelyn. "We just need you to stay tonight someplace where you're secure and we can keep an eye on you so that everyone is satisfied that you're here for the reasons that you've said."
Who's dissatisfied?
Enough people.
That's not really an answer.
It's the answer you're getting. You'll be on a nearby hall. I'll be nearby all night. But we are going to have to keep you separate from your friends to make sure you're not poking around.
Can I go with her?
No.
But surely you all trust me.
Oh, I love it. You don't call me Shirley.
All right.
Are you sure about this?
I don't think I have any choice, but
We came here voluntarily.
I think she knows that simply coming with us is the quickest way to resolve all of this.
This doesn't feel good, Lady Mariana.
It doesn't feel good to any of us.
I'll go. She looks right at Lemma. And in his mind, he hears her say, "I'll be fine."
Mariana looks at the room and at the draftsman as well. Says, "You should know that there's a matter extremely serious and extremely specific at stake. And she looks at him a bit, and there's just a little bit of a sigh. I don't expect, or rather predict, that you will trust or accept that, but it's true. This is not happening for no reason, or for a small reason. But I'm sure it's all fine. Come on, dear.
Lemma gives Evelyn a sudden tight hug. And as he does so, he attempts to slip the dagger away from her and onto his person.
Please give me a roll.
Can I aid?
You can. You roll a d6 and add it to his roll.
Okay.
And also let me know if you need a prayer dice, because I have 3 of them.
And so you were rolling a finesse roll, I assume, Lemma?
Yes.
Add 4 from me.
Plus,
I have to spend a hope to do that, right? Aid and Ally?
Yes.
Yep.
that'll make it a 21 with fear.
Okay, so I don't need to give you a prayer dice. Although I could, just in case.
All right. So
If it's not quite enough.
a 21 succeeds. With fear, I will say, I will let you choose. You accidentally cut either yourself or Evelyn.
Certainly myself.
It's a small cut, and we will find out later what, if any, special repercussions that has, being cut by this particular dagger. And with that, unless there's anything else Evelyn has to say to the group, the guards will take you away.
I'll see you all in the morning.
My question for Evelyn is, where did she leave that book?
She wasn't sure that book wasn't the reason that she's being taken. But she wouldn't have thought, I think probably when the draftsman came into the room, she probably dropped it onto a chair, like below a table, so it wasn't visible to him. And as she's walking out with the guards, she says to Lemma telepathically, I left a book on the chair.
So, after all this, the draftman says to all of you, I'm really sorry, kids. I don't know what that was about.
As a quick side note, when she says that to Lemma, he uses Mage Hand to lift and hold the book under the table.
Nice. I don't know what that was about. Mariana, she says what she means, and she means what she says. So whatever's going on, they're worried about something, but your friend should be safe. They're trying to make sure that she's not involved with something. So if, it looks like Mariana is making sure that, I think she's keeping your friend out of trouble, honestly.
With all due respect, sir, it doesn't feel like that.
I respect that. I just don't want you kids to panic. Probably the best thing you can do is go to bed. If you need anything from me, let me think. And he rummages in his pockets and he finds an old coin. One that I think that you all don't even recognize. And he looks at it and thinks for a moment, invests it with some ability, and he offers it to Lemma as is probably the closest to him. If you need me, you can contact me through this and I'll come find you. Just think my name.
The draftsman.
That's I'm sorry, that's my name.
Thank you for that.
It's the least, but also right now the most I can do. Unfortunately, I will start to work on some cool stuff. Try to get some sleep. I'm sure you'll see her at breakfast. And he scratches his head and makes his way out.
Lemma withdraws the book from under the table.
It is quite an old book by the draftsman. Notes and descriptions of the architecture and layout of this palace.
Oh, of course, she's got the plans of the place.
Lemma telepathically compliments Evelyn on her choice of reading material.
It's going to be a long night.
It's going to be a long night next time on Queen of Daggers, Heart of Fire.
Thank you for listening to Queen of Daggers, Heart of Fire, a production of Hagdeal Gaming. If you like what we're doing here, come say hi on Blue Sky or TikTok at Hagdeal Gaming. Leave us a review. We'd love to know what you think. And remember, as a wise person once said,
Best defense is a terrific defense.